This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications. This is KHQA. It's your news now.
And this is Saturday, December the 14th, and you have entered overtime on a weekend in which the Tri-States have been blanketed in a coat of snow-white beauty. And in so doing, Mother Nature throws us and the weekend sports schedule into turmoil. Let's take quick inventory here. I've got 30 minutes to fill, an ironclad commitment to local sports, and an avalanche of goodies to get to. Let's go right at them tonight. Challenge accepted. Quincy High taking on Springfield in the state capital. Springfield off to the good start in this one. Tavian Kincaid right there with a 3. The Blue Devils, though, would answer early. Connor Mellon, little transition maneuver, nice post up, and he would get, oh, you got to show off the guns, kid, would get the bucket to go. At the other end, though, Obadiah Church had a bunch of slam dunks last night against Sacred Heart Griffin, back up to it against Quincy High School. This is a back and forth game. Quincy High fell behind but fought its way back into this one. Turnovers the issue, although Lincoln Elby had a heck of a game, including a chance to win it at the buzzer with a 3. Wouldn't fall. The Blue Devils hard luck losers tonight to Springfield. Final count in this one was 48-46. How about Quincy Notre Dame trying to bounce back? The Raiders scoring just 33 points per game going into Hannibal tonight. Tough start for them, augmented here by Eric Hugenberg, who lights up from outside for the 3 right there, wing right. Then Trayvon Jones going to get the steal, go coast to coast in this one. It's an 8-1 run in favor of the Pirates to start this thing off. However, Quincy Notre Dame, to its credit, fighting back hard in this one. Austin Ritter would answer the call and answer it nicely right there with the big take and the bucket. Beautiful stuff from him at that point. More to come right here on the interior. Good stuff from Barry Welper off the feed by Drew Eaton. More to come in this one. Q&D going to take a 1-point lead in this one thanks to Austin Ritter on the steal and the beautiful take right there. Back the other direction, though, comes Hannibal. It's Vincent Elder with the Anthony Davis type runner to make things happen for his team right there. Then from deep, deep 3 range, it's Eric Hugenberg dropping one. He had 17 points on the night. Riley Walls, though, going to answer right back in this one with a 3 of his own. Dion Williams going to answer that with a deeper 3 of his own. Back and forth we'd go in this really pivotal first, second quarter transition. Great stuff right here as well from Mr. Drew Eaton doing it all on his own. Then the takeover. Dylan Powell was a monster inside tonight, and Q&D had no answers. Finished with 18 points. As you know what, Hannibal would just kind of take the lead late in the first half, including the beautiful run-out bucket right here. Great score by Dion Williams to beat the buzzer. Hannibal goes on to blow out Q&D. Final count in this one was 69-57. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. The big upset of the night in this one, the Pittsfield Sockies getting a wonderful win tonight at Riverton over a very good Riverton team. Corbin Personette got a steal with 5 seconds left in this one, went to the free throw line and sunk 2 game-winning free throws. So fantastic stuff from him. Great stuff going right there. As you would see, the Pittsfield Sockies get a big-time victory in this one. Let's take a look at some more scores if we can right now. Away we go onto the scoreboard. Oh, we're going to highlights, apparently. Check in with the Griggsville Perry Tornadoes as they're taking on in the 3rd place game Jacksonville Rout over in the North Green tournament. In this one, you will see all the fun happening quickly in this one. As you will see, Rout trying to answer back behind Ben Whalen right here. Good stuff from him. Jasper Sleeman also making some things happen in this one. And then John Gard getting into the act. Let's cut to the second half, though. Griggsville Perry on the takeover. Mr. Whitaker finds Mr. King in the corner, and Levi King going to drain that for 3. Good stuff from him. Then Rout goes on a deep run right here from Adam Birdsell. Hits the very deep 3 in this one. More from Birdsell coming up right here. Again, cutting the lead for Griggsville Perry at that point to 34-23. Great stuff in that one as well. As Rout trying to get back into this game. Dylan Jones also doing some work in this one. But alas, at the end, it would be Griggsville Perry holding on for the victory in 3rd place at the North Green tournament. Final count, as you saw, 63-49. Let's check the Iowa scoreboard now, if we could. Holy Trinity comes up just short of pulling off a major and really good upset, a really good road win it would have been over traditional powerhouse Danville. 59-58 is your final in that ball game. Keokuk, a hard luck loser at Mount Pleasant tonight. Final count in that one was 52-50. Also on the docket tonight, one more for you. Look at Miles Wenseen. Miles Wenseen with 35 points Miles Wenzine leading Fort Madison to a 5-0 start. Beautiful stuff right there. 60-45 your final in favor of Fort Madison. Let's take a look at the Palmyra Panthers taking on Louisiana tonight. As you will see, the highlights taking place in this one. The threes flying early in this game. Look at this stuff right here. Back and forth these two teams would go. Everybody hitting deep threes all the way around in what was a wild first quarter. What I can tell you about this game, Trevor Meny was just darn good in this one. He ended up with 20 points in the night, including the hard take right there. Many doing work tonight. Caleb Kaiser doing work tonight. Biggest guy doing work in this game was Brock Butler, however, who had 35 points between Meny and Butler tonight, 55 points between the two. As I tell you what, it would be Palmyra holding on to take the championship tonight and to beat Louisiana. Final count in this one was 74-72. Also on the docket tonight, we've got more for you right now. Let us check in right here with the third place game. Monroe City and Marion County going down and throwing it out. Reed Plunkett doing his thing right here. Hit the jumper in the lane early. More to come. Logan Krigbaum. Wow, what a nice take for him. Marion County with a 3-point lead at that point. Grant O'Brien, though, going to answer. G-O-B. Good stuff from him through traffic, rising and getting the lay-in at that point. Michael Speaks doing some work as well on the down low for the tough lay-in. Monroe City answering right back. Then Mr. Ritter going to do some fun stuff in the down low with the blocks. Oh, up and tough shot for him. Monroe City has reversed course, now leads this game by 4. Scott Hoover going to answer as well with a nice take and a nice bucket at the other end. Tell you what, Marion County made a nice run down the stretch, but ends up losing to Monroe City. Final count in this one was 59-55. Let us check the scoreboard if we could. We've got the third place game tonight. Actually, this is the consolation game as Mark Twain gets the win over South Shelby 58-54 for the consolation championship. Ethan Anderson in that game with 29 points to lead his team to victory. So there's your scoreboards on the boys' side. Let's do some wrestling now. Over at Porta, you're looking at Logan Thiele wrestling at 285, nursing a 1-0 lead in the semifinals and cleaning up with that victory to move on into the championship finals tonight. Mr. Thiele ends up finishing second for the Saukeys. Both he and Wade Thiele at 160 with second place finishes for Pittsfield, who would finish 7th as a team today. Kenny Little was 3rd at 170, and Hayden Collins finished 4th for the Saukeys at 182. Our congratulations to both of those gentlemen. One college score to pass along to you tonight as well on the men's side. It was the John Wood men bouncing back from that ugly and, well, rather tough loss tonight to the #1 Division I team in the country in JUCO basketball. That's Indian Hills. John Wood, a very different story tonight as TJ Tisdale leads the way in this one with 31 points and 10 rebounds. The Blazers get the win by the final count in this one of 94-58. Coming up next, we've got plenty for you, including kind of a little different take on Seeds of Greatness as we check in with some of the best 8th grade teams in the state of Illinois. That's coming up next.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar, brought to you by Con Communications.
And welcome back to Overtime, everybody. And if you're a Palmyra, Louisiana boys basketball fan, don't go away. We're going to bring you those extended highlights that just came back from the big game coming up just a little bit later in overtime. But right now, you would be hard-pressed to right now find a team playing any better basketball in our area than the Palmyra Lady Panthers. Chris Parsons' crew has destroyed all comers to this point and was looking to close out blowouts with Monroe City tonight, or actually looking to close out a Monroe City title. We'll bring you highlights of this one later. We can tell you that Palmyra did exactly that, beating up on Marceline and getting the victory tonight. Those highlights coming up in just a bit. Let's take a look at the scoreboard if we can for you tonight. In the third place game, it was Marion County getting the victory over South Shelby 59-55. Cassidy Johnston with 23 points and 10 rebounds in that one to lead her team in the losing cause. I should say Sadie Pafford had 26 points in victory tonight for the Marion County Lady Mustangs. Also tonight, Mark Twain knocks off Paris for the consolation championship 44-35. Kenzie Grossman leading the way in that one with 17 points as well. Well, we've got just, I want to pass along a couple of other scores to you as well. The Centralia girls knock off Macon in triple overtime in the third place game of the Macon tournament tonight. So Macon has to settle for 4. Centralia with a hard victory there as well. And the Fort Madison girls improved to 4-1 on the season, beating Ottumwa on the road. 42-30 was your final in that ball game. Tough night for the Macomb Bombers, who got down early to South Fulton at home and just could never really rally all the way back as the Macomb Bombers end up losing by 6. Final count in this one was 81-75. Well, we've got a little different tweak this week on our Seeds of Greatness segment. Traditionally, we profile a rising youngster from the 15 and under set here, who's the next Tri-State sports star in this spot. Today, our focus is a little broader as we bring game action from a pair of teams looking to extend Hancock County's already rich tradition of girls high school basketball. And we do so by way of the Illinois 8th grade state tournaments.
Seeds of Greatness brought to you by Burris Hybrids.
Let us take you to this game tonight. Southeastern in quarterfinal play against Bartonville Monroe. Assistant coach Leah Cassing, the former Brown County star. We pick it up early in this one. This is Lauren Glick from the outside, knocking down the longest two to put the Suns up at this point 12-6. Jaslyn Robb going to hit a free throw right here to make that lead 13-10 at this point in favor of the Suns. Then Delaney Lance with another free throw to extend the lead to its biggest margin, 17-10. That's the margin the Suns would open up the second half. 7-0 run, though, by Monroe on the Jenna Mirande jumper right here to tie this up at 17-all. You know what? Monroe was pressing the Suns, beat them with a touchdown pass from Sydney Ballas to Delaney Lance, go up 19-17. Suns down 22-20. When Lance, oh, look at this, beautiful shot by her right there, ties the game up at 22 apiece at 2:13. Then things go awry as they would unravel for the Suns in this one. Off the missed free throw, oh my goodness, this, my friends, is Zoe Wall with the long jumper. She knocks that down. And then Jenna Mirande again with a two right here. It's 26-22 with 71 seconds left. That is a huge margin in junior high school basketball. 50 seconds left, though. The Suns undaunted. How about this? Lauren Glick. Wow, beautiful jumper from her right there to cut it to 26-24 with 47 seconds left. And then the steal right here by Miss Delaney Lance. She's fouled. She'd go to the double bonus. First free throw, ooh, barely gets in. She'll knock that home. Second free throw would tie this game up at 26. Off the inbounds, the Suns do more work. Delaney Lance channels her inner Hondo right here. The steal hooks up with Jaslyn Robb. It's Miss Lauren Glick to Jaslyn Robb for what turns out to be the game winner at that point. We're getting ahead of ourselves because you know what? Monroe had a chance to win this thing right here. Miss Lance extends the lead to 29-26. It's a three-point lead. She missed the second one. 4 seconds left. Here's Monroe's chance to try to win it with a three. Blocked right there. And the Lady Suns go on to the semifinals game as they end up winning tonight by the final count of 29-26. Unfortunately, the good news would end there, as in the semifinals tonight, a hard luck, devastating loss for Southeastern. They drop a decision 32-30. Delaney Lance had 12 points in that loss night. The news a little better for Carthage. Winners over Calhoun in the state quarterfinals. Bailey Clampett, what a day for her. She had 22 points to help lead her team to victory, 41-37 coming up right there. Bailey Clampett getting the job done. But we do not know who Carthage will play because a couple of the games tonight were snowed out. So Carthage will not play again until Wednesday after they find out the winner of the other side of the quarterfinal bracket in the semifinals coming up on Wednesday. Those games will take place on Monday. Well, thanks to last week's Conference Championship Football Festival here on CBS, we had no overtime. So that means I owe you not one, but two Con Communication nominees for the month of December to start this thing off. First, the ground rules. We give you here a working list of the top plays of the week. At the end of the month, we let you decide the winner by vote at KHQA.com. And if you choose to vote, we can draw your name from a hat to be your random prize package winner. So here's your double feature this week. We start off in basketball. Fantastic stuff right here. As good a tip in as you will ever see from Mr. Lucas Daniel of North Shelby. You see him go up, sky for it, and toss this one in. Wonderfully done by Lucas Daniel. Again, your first nominee. You'll probably never see a better executed tip-in play by the North Shelby Raider, who that kid is just a scoring sensation. Meanwhile, your other nominee from this week comes from the mats. You're looking at Dakota Huss wrestling at 138 against Camp Point Central, and this is what we call the cradle of death right here. Once he cinches it in, ain't nothing gonna happen. Wrestling top-notch competition against Camp Point Central doesn't matter. Dakota Huss on his game, cinches this in, puts it home, and ends up picking up the pinfall victory. So those are your first two nominees. As you can see, Lucas Daniel and Dakota Huss. You'll have a chance to vote for two more by the end of the month. And we have more good news for you, including a pair of Tri-State football alums playing for a national championship next week, coming up next in Overtime. They call themselves the South Shelby Connection, and next weekend they will be playing for a National Division II football championship. Our congratulations to Shane Smith and Bryce Johnston, offensive linemen for Northwest Missouri State, who punched their tickets to the big dance night with a win over Grand Valley State 27-13. Up next, Lenore Rhine will be the opponent for Northwest Missouri State. That game set for December the 21st. A victory there buys Mr. Smith and buys Mr. Johnston a national championship ring, which would be pretty darn impressive. All right, as promised, championship boys highlights night between Louisiana and Palmyra. To start things off, it's the Trevor Menny show from the top of the key. Looking deep for the three, he would knock it down. Dalen Green, though, would answer in what was a wild first quarter where the lead would change back and forth about 8 different times. Always a 1-point lead. Palmyra at one point had a 4-point lead. How about Mr. Menny right here? Bucket, Band-Aid, and the 3-point play for him. And then it's Josh Holtz working with the beautiful floater to knock that home as well. Great stuff there. How about some defensive work, or at least some offensive rebounding work right here, as you're going to see, oh, look at Mr. Menny with a snare to Basil Keller, who knocks that in for the easy lay-in. At the other end, though, Mr. Chapman doing his thing. Oh, look at that. He's going to rocker step everybody, take it to the hole, and then get the easy lay-in. Brock Butler, though, was the deal in this game, as I mentioned earlier. 35 points between he and Menny, 55 points in the night. Palmyra hangs on to win a thriller, 74-72, as the Panthers win the boys' side of the Monroe City bracket. As I mentioned, the girls, Chris Parsons' team, as hot as anybody in the area, taking on Kent O'Loughlin's Marceline squad. Former Palmyra coach in his own right, Haley Wassman for 3 at the top of the key, and that is true, and it is good. That would set the tone. Maybe not Palmyra's best game, but they found the buckets they needed when they needed them. Kaylee Oxberg, I should say, with a hard floater right there, as Ms. Osberg knocks that down. Oh, and then here it's Haley Nix finding Haley Wassman again under the hoop for the bucket. Marceline tries to go on a little run in this one. Danielle Corbin right here gets the rebound for the putback. Sydney Brooks as well doing some things from distance for 3. Just too much Palmyra in this game. Emily Bross, do your bidding. Baseline jumper is perfect for her. Knocks that down. And then Nicole Krager running the floor and gets the lay-in at the other end as Palmyra pulls off the victory tonight, 62-47. The Palmyra Lady Panthers undefeated and looking every bit of that so far this season. Hey, we're all out of time here on Overtime. Next Saturday, though, a very big one. We've got Quincy University in action with their annual holiday tournament, the Subway Tournament, always fun. I know Truman State will be here as well. We've also got those pre-Christmas Thanksgiving, or those pre-Christmas basketball tournaments, which are always an awful lot of fun, including, I think, the Rumble on the River next weekend. So lots of good pre-holiday stuff before we just dive headlong into the stuff right after Christmas with the Beardstown tournament, all the fun up at Macomb. Should be a wonderful couple of weeks ahead if you are a high school basketball fan. Coming up tomorrow, lots of good stuff with my man Will Wilson, and then coming up on Monday, what should be a fantastic Sensational 7 as well. I'm all out of time, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay out of snowbanks, and we'll see you right back here next Saturday.